Okay. I'm LucyLovely. I'm from Jackson Independent School. I teach 9 through 12 life science. This is my 17th year. And I teach an advanced biology course. And, you know, pretty much the entire first semester, we do a lot of work with microscopes. It's basically a mini microbiology, half the year spent doing micro. And, over the years, I've encountered a lot of problems with students using microscope, not just the technique, but a lot of times they just cannot find what they're supposed to be looking for, multiple issues. But anyway, we started out with that. It was a study and a combined effort, and I do this in a lot of life science courses, but mostly the advanced biology, to identify and study the structure and function of lots of different types of cells. How will I effectively engage students in usage of the microscope? The first level was understanding the parts of the microscope. Level 2 was just practicing using it with prepared slides. Then we moved on to look at prepared slides of like protozoa and other algae. And then level 4 was using the microscope to look at living things and being able to use it correctly. And then using the new digital microscope attachments to maybe play around with plant cells and tonicity and some stuff they've learned from general biology. But once it gets going, you'll be able to see. So here's the equipment I bought with my grant. Basically, I bought, these were the student scopes, and I already have the iPads. So, when they're using a microscope, a lot of times you'll say, okay, look for this, and you can show them a picture of it, but half the time they're looking at dust or an air droplet or a bubble, water bubble, and then all of a sudden, when you're, checking their work, they're looking at the wrong thing. So, the microscope, being able to use it correctly is one thing, because they've torn stuff up in the past, they haven't used the lenses correctly, or just moving the objective lenses around. If they don't click into place, they're seeing black. They don't know, so that's one obstacle, is using it correctly and then being able to, find what they're looking for and capture images. So I wanted them to be able to capture images like you would find on Google Images, It's, instead of just the prepared slides, I wanted them to be to master that. And so I got 5 of these, and if you have mini iPads, basically they connect through Wi-Fi. So you'll connect this to Wi-Fi, and there's a little Wi-Fi code on here, and then you'll bring it up. And so they can do still images, and it's just this device right here, just that. They can do still images, and they can do video recording. And you'll see some of the stuff they found. And then I got one teacher instructor one, and it connects to the television through HDMI. It does still images, saves on an SD card, but it doesn't do videos. But they really like this one. So I can see exactly what they're doing instead of, okay, you try, now let me look, now you look, now me, now I'll look. So we can see at that, moment what they find. All right, I need to move a little quicker. Okay, troubleshooting took me a while when I got the equipment. It didn't come with any instructions, basically figure it out yourself. So one is just removing the ocular lens, the eyepiece, was an obstacle because it took more than just, I put eyeglass screwdriver, sorry for the typo, wasn't small enough, so I had to order those. And then the teacher one wouldn't fit in there, so I had to buy an attachment for that. And of course, I don't know anything about microscope repair, so I was just, trying to figure that out. And then I couldn't figure out how to get it to come up on the iPads, so I had to call and talk to people, trying to figure out that basically through a blog, I figured out I needed this app. So there is some troubleshooting, but if you decide you want the equipment next year, I can let you know what you need. Okay. All right, so this was just prepared slides. I just captured some images of what we did with it. And so this was and I've got a lot of stuff going on here, but we started out with just threads, the letter E, the basic stuff. So this was a student using it, trying to figure out talking them through it. And I let some students be the presenters, and so they got to use the teacher one as well. So that was just some slides of that. And then here was some more where I made them sort of zoom in on certain locations and even time themselves, and just to get better at it. So here's some images that you could totally see these on Google, these pictures. They actually took these pictures. So that was one. Here was spiral gyra. You've got vorticella. These are some protozoa, algae, bone tissue. But I thought these are really good. There were so many, I couldn't go through all the great ones. And then they airdropped them to me. So they learned how to airdrop. And if you've never done airdrop, if you have an iPhone, if you've never done airdrop, all you do is bring up the picture and you go to the little share. How many of y'all have used airdrop? Okay. Go to the little share. And if you're in close enough range, it's kind of like Bluetooth. You just click the airdrop, and it just, boom, it just pops up. You choose the little button, and it pops up. So they would put it on their phones and Snapchat the pictures. They thought they were big stuff. Or they would airdrop their pictures to me on my laptop. So they got to do that. So they brought it up there. This one, she had airdropped it to her phone. So they were doing that. They thought that was really cool. So they had a lot of fun. So those were prepared slides already. So here's some more. These were just some really good Stentor, Volvox, Euglena. Those were just so. And then we worked with living organisms, and here was Stentor, and these were different stages, and they did some screen captures. He looks real enthused there, but we were doing some stuff like that. Some more with plant cells. So we in this one, she added salt water to it to watch the cell membrane shrink. So we got some good stuff. And so here was some video I got of the living organisms. I don't know what my time is. Hopefully they'll come up. So this was just a few quick ones. Let me see if I can get that to play. This is just some video footage they captured. You could see that on YouTube. So I thought that was, and what's cool is usually I would do a couple days in between units, but this time I did it all at once, like 2 weeks, which was better because every day it was like lab and they got to work, and they got really good at being able to follow it around. So I thought that was pretty neat. Here's some more live footage. If I can get that to come up. This one's really good. Some paramecium there. That's pretty cool. When they caught living organisms, it was like they got really excited about that. But this is just what we could, with the equipment, what you can see with the equipment. So I'm just going to show you all a few more. Kids were really proud of these. So that was very similar to the last one. And then, let's see what we've got here. This was one they caught some living organisms. This was Stentor moving around, so you can see it. And he was getting really good at following it around. And these kids had never used a microscope ever. Their teacher did everything for them, so they got to where they were really, really good at it. So let's see if I can. Okay. So you can see, basically, those were the same things. Let's go to the last one. So I thought here was another really good. This was on the teacher one, so I had to actually video my TV while that was going on. So this was one of those rare moments that you might, and so this is Stentor sort of stretching out. So we've studied all these bacteria, viruses, various protists, protozoa, algae, fungi, but now they get to see some of that in action. And so some of these also had other like rotifers moving around, but basically my activity was using this equipment, these digital microscopes, to better perfect their knowledge and usage of the microscope. Any questions? Yeah. We haven't, no. I actually just ordered live organisms like from Carolina, but, and I just, I picked a few out that just, and we went from there. But I would like to do, maybe next year, we can go out and collect some of our own samples. But they also learn that you got to be patient. The first sample, you may see nothing. So like, you may have to spend 2 hours and sample nothing. Clean it off, sample nothing, you know? So, but no, we haven't, you know. But anything, and there were some living things, we couldn't figure out what it was, so then we had to identify those. But it's pretty cool. It's all about getting those great images and videos. Anything else? Thank you very much.